SGG, what's good with y'all, baby? It's your boy SmooveGotGame. What's good, familia? How you guys doing today? We are back with another Detroit Tigers MLB The Show rebuild. If you guys are enjoying the content, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. If you are brand new to the family and you want to see more of this MLB The Show rebuild, also Madden just dropped their new trailer. Let me know. I'm going to check the polls, but let me know if you guys want me to react to the trailer and talk about my new opinions on it and what future plans will be for Madden 24. But today we're going to focus on MLB, man. We're going to jump right back into it. And today I wanted to focus in on our starting pitchers, really, because we have a lot of interesting people here. This is where a lot of our potential lies is within our starters. You have young Jackson Jobe, who's up now producing. Casey Mize is produced. We also have Wilmer Flores and newly traded for acquired Kai Bush. B potential, 70 overall at 25 years old. Down at AA right now, just so I can see what he has and what kind of value he can offer. But he's somebody that could rise up the ranks pretty quickly if he's able to produce. Like, I love his per nines here. All the pretty solid spot for what his overall is. Good velo, decent break and control. Those could stand to get up a little bit. But in 2 starts down there, he's 1-1, only giving up 3 earned runs in 13 2/3 innings. So probably just a lack of run support on the 1 loss. But 1.9 ERA, 13 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Shows the control issues aren't as bad as they seem. So that's great for me as I go ahead and jump into a player lock game here with him. We're going to see what kind of starter he is, get familiar with his game, and see what he can produce here and offer up, and see if maybe he can make that move up to AAA sooner rather than later. As for right now, plans for him, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if it'll be somebody that makes it exactly into our rotation. I kind of like my rotation where it is right now, as long as those guys continue to produce good. And obviously there's, at least maybe free agency moves to bring one more other person in. So as far as the minor league pitchers, it all depends on A, how quickly they develop, B, if they develop at all, and then see how they perform when spring training comes around. So do I think he could perform well enough here at AA to get moved to AAA? Yes. Do I think he can go from AAA to AA? Or AAA to spring training invite next season? Yeah, it's very possible he could. Now, what he does in spring training will decide whether he goes back to spring training or goes back to the AAA farm system, comes up maybe a little bit early, or do I value him more as a trade target with some other pieces, other places that I'm trying to feed into, which I haven't had any luck with the draft yet finding. I'm looking for a power hitter at the corner infield spots, either one. Especially Turner Corkelson is doing okay, but I'd really rather have power coming from, catcher, third base, especially since those two are getting older. As that is a great strikeout on the curveball there. We're not going to let it distract us from any great play that Kai Bush makes here today. But those are kind of some of the future plans. I mean, he could potentially be trade bait for the future. It could be in the cards. But let me know down below, do you guys like the addition that we made when we got Kai Bush? And do you guys think that he could be somebody that is a big influence on this team pretty soon? As that is a great way to cover over first base. Now let's go ahead and jump right back into this start, though, and focus a little bit more on what he's able to do here today. Pitches are pretty strong. He's got the 4-seamer, the curveball that, as you can see there, has tremendous break as he gets the strikeout there with the 4-seamer. But I'd say that curveball is going to be the strikeout pitch, especially against lefties. It's going to be a good breakaway pitch, just like the slider is for most of my other pitchers. As long as the break is there, I will have no problems at all throwing it. But the 4-seamer's coming in with a little bit of heat behind it. As you see a chopper there, 94 miles per hour. Nothing blazing, but, about typical what you'd expect from any kind of starter, especially here early in the game. And here early, you can see we have a 2-0 lead to go ahead and help him out. So it's really about how much can we get out of him here today. I'm thinking at least let's get 7 innings of work here and try to keep this lead and get a dub. In the first, every time we're seeing him on the screen, is that's going to be a base hit that's get down into the corner. It'll roll up against the wall, so it'll turn into a double. Throw's going to come into the cutoff man, but he's going to ignore the third base coach coming to the plate. Got him just in time. Way to gun him down from the outfield. That is an amazing play. Look at the throw come in to the cutoff, right on line to the catcher. Great tag, right where it had to be, honestly. That throw is anywhere, like if it was not a perfect throw, anywhere in that little catch box radius, basically, where he had to extend up or stand up for it or reach for it, he wouldn't have got him. But that was a perfect throw, perfect play at the plate. And, of course, we're going to jump ahead here. Don't want to show the whole start because a lot of it does kind of not get repetitive, but my boy was out there balling. From the third to the set, or from the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, nobody else got on base. Here in the 7th, they finally get somebody grounded to a double play immediately. He was on one today where not too many people were able to touch his stuff. 2-2 here with 2 outs. 4-seamer lined out to the outfield. That'll be gloved in shallowly. And that's 7 innings of work. And he's going to come back out for the 8th. 88 pitches through. So now we get to see kind of where his stamina lies. What are you going to do when you're tired, and how long can you go when you are tired? It's important in a lot of different areas of life. Remember that, kids. But quickly down 0-2. Gets him to chop this nice slider over to first base. Able to go ahead and glove that one in. And we have a mix of slider and curveball. I really got 2 strikeout pitches. Now, unfortunately, I'm a little bit more scared of throwing curveballs than sliders because curveballs end up in home runs. Despite the fact that even when I'm hitting, I think I've hit more home runs off sliders than curveballs, but the computers hit more home runs off me when I throw my curves than my sliders. Like, I feel like my sliders just be untouchable sometimes. And I'm hoping that's the case here with Kyle Busch. Today, almost all his stuff has looked untouchable. Ground ball over the shortstop. Nice play over at first base. Great reach. And they're going to bring him out for the 9th inning. He's going for a complete game shutout. Now, 94 pitches deep into this game. It's not even that often that you see my major league pitchers reach to 100 pitches. He's coming in here. The break on the slider is starting to lose a little bit of effect. He's starting to get tired. Nice little chopper back to himself. Having to throw a little extra pitch here. So anything that pitch count say, go ahead and add one more. So he's actually at 97 pitches, about to be 98. As that is a changeup that gets floated over the shortstop's head. And I'm thinking, we're late in the game. They'll probably take me out after that one. At this point, I would leave him in. I want him to go for a complete game shutout unless it gets to like the time run at the plate and it's a power hitter. Then I might pull him. But here at this point, I leave him in for a little bit. And what does he do? Makes me right here with a great fly ball out there. Now 2-0, able to bounce back, and it's up to Brian Ramos. 100 pitches into this ball game, and he is their last choice as the time run is still in the hole. Chops this one on the ground. It'll go up the middle for a base hit. Runner's going to hold at second base, so no movement up. And now the time run is going to be at the plate. And I got to imagine that they probably pull him after that one. Yep. There comes the young AA skipper. He's going to go ahead and wave out to the bullpen and bring somebody else in. So a great start, though. 8 2/3. Very, very strong. And I got to say, I'm impressed with his stuff. He will not be at AA much longer. Now, of course, I want him to be down here just to get a little bit of development boost, especially while he's killing it. And, it doesn't start happening until after the first month. But as we get into month 2, yeah, he won't be down here much longer. Luis Hidiago, who I think that's how you say it, at least. I might have butchered that man's name terribly. So if you're a Tigers fan, please forgive me. But he goes in and comes into this game. He's our potential closing pitcher. As long as he's able to develop good, maybe he takes over for Alex Lange, who's been struggling recently, but the overall is not there yet. So I want to bring him up to the league. So we will be looking at closing pitchers in the scouting weeks and looking to see if anybody has any trade bait possibly for us to maybe get somebody that can close out that spot. As that one's a drop third strike, going to get it and throw over to third base, not in time. Runners move up into scoring position, both of them. And now it's 2-1. Let's hope he doesn't blow a save here. Gets him off balance with the four-seamer. Down the middle and is only popping a foul. 2-2. Swings over the top of another one. That's great on the corner. You can't let that go because it's called. Not much you can do with it if you made contact. And the Seawolves walk out of here with a dub. So great 1-out save there for Luis as we were able to come in and dominate. Honestly, that is a dominating game in the world of baseball when you win 3-0 like that. Kyle Busch 8 2/3, 5 Ks, only 6 hits, 1 walk. So that really helps out the whip get a little bit lower. Helps the ERA drip down even farther. And as you can look at our lineup here, 8 hits as a team. You see Fernando Gonzalez had 1, Colt Keith had 2, Quincy Neopart had 2 as well. No home runs, but a phenomenal game. ERA down to 1.21. Second save of the season for Luis. As we were able to go ahead and come into this game and just be phenomenal. I want to take a look at his pitches. You can see the spread here. Not too much is right down the middle. A lot of stuff all over the place. Strikeout percentages are decent at 67%. I love that curveball to be a little bit better at 36%. But it is what it is for right now. Just got to get a little bit better command of it. And speaking of young phenoms on the team, we're going to go look at Kevin Acosta. Somebody that we drafted. I mean, he's got a very low overall with a very high potential. At least I say very high because of where his overall is. He's got B potential with a 48 overall. So not much to be desired. I mean, his hitting, you see all those stats were in the 30s as he's got a long way to go before he has any hopes of making the majors. He might not even reach his actual potential, but it could also be possible too as well. I like to keep at least 6 catchers on the roster, 2 for each of the levels. So at least for right now, he'll stay and remain unless I find a catcher that more so intrigues me and I have 7 and somebody got to go. But it might not be gone soon as that ball just barely outside the foul pole. I thought he might have caught me off guard there with a homer. 2-2. Swings and misses over the top of the changeup. That vision just not good. Discipline not good. And despite all that, though, we have a big inning here in the 7th. Take it even biggerly. You see rookie Chris Amaros, who we drafted last year too as well, coming in and getting a nice little 3-out inning. Showing that maybe, relievers can go up and down at any time and will. Their overalls don't matter as much because they can really break out at a 65 overall and have a really good season, as you saw last year with Anderson Espinoza and then how he's playing this year. As Kevin Acosta pops that one foul, it will be caught. But unfortunately enough for us, that should be just enough to go ahead and get a dub here. As Luis gives up 1-4. Are you kidding me? Now he's got Alex Lange disease. He gave up the save. Luckily, we had enough offense on the back end to go ahead and come back from this. But 4 earned runs from Luis in the top of the 9th. We could have closed this one out. Thank you, Ortiz, for getting the final 2 outs. And Fernando Gonzalez looking amazing. Okay, Rook, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. Colt Keith had his 2nd home run of the season. Gonzalez, 2 doubles. 3rd and 4th on the year. So he's looking good too right now. I mean, we have him DHing, not playing third base to get him and Colt Keith on the field at the same time. But he's looking just as good. His defense is a little bit less to be desired, but the home run power is great. See Kevin Castro there with a good start. Okay, start 5 innings, 3 earned. No strikeouts anywhere to be found all day. 3 total as a pitching staff. But let's not distract us from the fact that we're going to go check out more of what Fernando Gonzalez has down here at AA. You know, we got Leo Franco on the mound, year 2 down at AA. He's looking fantastic. We'll see what kind of development he gets, but 5 RBIs, is 4th on the team, batting 300 over 300 down here. The bat is looking good. Now, if we can just get the defense better, he might be a third baseman to watch out for on this roster that could potentially take over for Jonathan Scope. Now, of course, we're still looking in this draft just in case anything appeals or, you know, drives me away from him. But right now, the way he's playing, it's not looking too bad. Bottom of the 6th here. He is 0 for 2 on the day. Drives one up the middle. It'll be tapped off the glove of second base and a little bit too much speed running on the line. As it will be a hit, though. You know, hits work in any kind of fashion, especially when you're down 4-1. It could be exactly what you need. Now, this is a great chance to try to steal. Only 68 speed. They try to pick off move, and I get caught in a rundown trying to hopefully get back. Damn. I got thrown out, man. I was hoping that I thought with 68 speed, they wouldn't really pay attention to him that much. I was wrong. Got caught sleeping. And unfortunately, man, we go down 8-1, and we cannot recover from that. So we will lose this part of the series. We'll go down, or we'll go up in the series still, though, 2-1. But just a piss poor game, honestly. Only 6 hits as a team. Fernando Gonzalez getting one of them that we saw, but no extra base hits, no home runs, 2 errors. Leo Franco, probably one of his worst starts this season. 5 innings, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts. Jason Shealy, 4 earned runs off the bench too as well. And it's got me thinking about, you know, potentially moving people around. You see Garrett Hill's having to be in the starting rotation because Troy Melton is hurt. So is it time for Kyle Busch to make the move up? I don't know. Because if he makes the move up, I'm also thinking about somebody that we just drafted making the move up to AA too as well, rather than bringing over Conley from the bullpen, or Shealy from the bullpen, because he is looking pretty bad. But Kyle Busch hasn't seen any development boost just yet. And I wanted to go through and check out a couple other guys. Drew Jones here, still batting 154. He is struggling in AAA. He might have to go down to AA to get his skills better and then come back up to AAA. I don't know. Restart his old production level. But there you see Santiago. I don't want to say his last name wrong. I'll be saying names wrong all day. But Santiago Nieve. We went ahead and bring him up from single A to AA because he just got a really high overall. I mean, C potential. Really high overall. I actually made a mistake here and called up the wrong starting pitcher. I sent James Conley down, not Jason Shealy. So we're sending Jason Shealy, who actually has the worst overall. We're sending him down to single A to get better development. And I'm moving Santiago Nieve into the starting rotation, looking around, seeing who has the worst ERA, which happens to be James Conley. So he'll just be long relief work right now. But we do want to try to get in the start with Santiago. Just see what he has here later in the season. As we go back up to the major league level, you see we went on a 4-game slide against Toronto, getting swept, and then lost the first game against the Mets before finally bouncing back with the win. But it is atrocious what we're doing up here right now. 10-11, considering how we started off last year, is not at all what we wanted to see. You see here we're getting quite a few people. Not a lot of third basemen in the West, only 1. So not really, you know, too effective with that. We weren't able to get a huge. I might as well just looked at that one player. I thought there might be more hidden. Did not check all the way down, but you see Julius Fisher here from Oregon. He's got really good hitting stats. Somebody that I could focus on primarily big time at third base, maybe coming with the bat and fielding ability. Same thing here with Bucky Hackman at second base. You know, that position isn't completely filled up. Laboratorius is getting old too as well. So still looking for guys that can fill that role too, or maybe, you know, he can move to third base if we find out what his secondary positions are. I can move the infield around. I'm not worried about that at all, as long as you can play. You know, we're looking at catchers too as well. Trying to see if anything catches my eye. Muhammad Robinson here, good to defense, not good hitting, so maybe worth to at least see what he can do. So we're going to go with Julius Fisher at third base, Josh Schultz at third base, and Muhammad Robinson for our first set of actually focusing on players instead of just a mass group of positions and getting percentages. We're going to go ahead and focus on these guys and get these guys really built up, you know, 46% of the way done, and see if any of these 3 guys are worth our first pick there back at like number 28. Now, I told you guys we were going to go ahead and get into another start. So staying down in AA, this is going to be a minor league heavy video. I hope you guys do enjoy it, man. I mean, this is the part of the rebuild that gets fun. This is where you start getting invested into the team, the young guys. Who is going to lead the major league roster? We don't know who's going to be the MVP when we go to the postseason. We don't know who's going to be the playoff MVP, Super Bowl MVP when we win one. It could be Santiago Nieve. He has a great turnaround by age 22, and he's like a 86 overall. He's beat his potential and just balls out 1 year. Who knows? But I do know if that's the case, I want to get a look at his stuff then and see what he's got. Four-seamer, not too fast. You see there about 92, 94 miles per hour. He's got the infamous pitch that I hate so much. As that bounces off his hand, I don't know what that was. I can't believe you just gave it up. Just allowed it to just bounce off your hand. But the infamous pitch that I probably hate the most, throwing the 12-6 curve. That 12-6 curveball has given me nightmares for years, ever since like Madden 09, or not Madden, MLB The Show 09, back when I used to pitch with AJ Barnett a lot, because, you know, I was a Yankees fan, so I always did Yankees franchise every time I got the game, and that 12-6 was just, every time I pitched with Barnett, I swear his ERA was always, you know, above 4 or even in the 5 range, and it was mostly because I was giving up home runs like crazy to that 12-6. I just could not throw it. Anytime I tried to throw it, it was immediately a home run. So we'll see how it activates here for Santiago, because if it does do good, it can be a good strikeout pitch, but I want to see how he effectively uses it with 2 on there to start out the game. Now we go top of the second here. Look at that 12-6 just drop in beautifully. Get some froze there, 0-1. If it works, it works, but if it don't, it's crazy. Look at it. That one gets popped. This only goes about 79 miles per hour, so a good, decent change of speed here. Tries to get him on 3 straight, so here 1-2 will just go ahead and go right back to the fastball. It's going to be a chopper on the ground. Taking it yourself. Great plays in the defense. Got to get that gold glove award for pitcher. If we, I don't know if we'll ever win that award, but it would be nice, huh? Imagine being a pitcher winning. I feel like being a pitcher winning a gold glove award, it's like, it's back when they used to give them like the batting title. Like, it was like, I mean, I can say I got one, but I ain't really doing much. Like, how do you even get errors as a pitcher? Because I don't think, you know, just like a regular, I don't think a regular pickoff move like throwing into the dugout, like stuff like that, I don't think that counts as an error. It might, but I think there's a different word for it other than error. But it might count as an error. I might be tripping. I might be that far out of baseball right now, but I'm gonna have to look that one up just to make sure and double check so I can know I'm not stupid. But here we skip ahead a little bit of ways into the ball game. That's gonna be a deep drop going back near the wall. Gone. The game was going all good. I was about to say we were about to do a little time skip here because he had just had a bunch of shutdown innings through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As you see, he was working. Only 2 hits given up to that point, and then just lays a 4-seamer right over the plate, and that is a solo home run. Getting them finally on the board with only just their 3rd hit today. And now they make it a 2-1 ball game, cutting the lead in half here. As now, we got to see what he's got up his sleeve. Do you have any grit? Any patience here? Is this going to get down on the ground? That will be foul. Thought he might have got that bunt down. 0-2. Tries to get him to chase the 4-seamer in on the hands. Swings and misses through it upstairs, though. Good work. I was very impressed with the start overall. I like the stuff that he has. The 12-6 wasn't giving me too much problems. I mean, you see the only run that we giving up this time was a home run off the 4-seamer. The 12-6 is looking good. It's phenomenal. No one's really able to touch it really right now. He's got also, you know, a good 4-seamer. He's got the 2-seam. I mean, his stuff is looking. His changeup is looking okay. I'm not afraid to throw anything with him right now, and he's looking like, not like, you know, a seasoned vet or anything, but definitely like he at least belongs here. Pitching well throughout, getting that ground ball to start off the 7th inning. He's about 76 pitches through here. Gets another ground ball out here, just keeping the ball down in the yard, not letting it have a chance to really fly out of here. And then with the 1-0 here to Rodriguez. Gets that changeup with a little bit too much to the plate, but just got underneath it enough to pop that one up. Probably thought it was the 12-6. So that's a good reason to mix in the changeup at 12-6. It's not going to break as much, but it's going to be just as fast. You might be able to catch them off guard. Now here, I was surprised they let him come out for the 8th inning. I was like, don't let me figure out y'all, but let me get another complete game in a bit. And that will be glove. As you see, he's not moving at all. I mean, that's 1 out. 5 more to go. 85 pitches out the way. Shaw's going to come up with the first pitch he sees is at 12-6 again in the dirt. Getting him to swing all the way through it. Popping that one foul. Could we get a late game strikeout 0-2? Yes, we can. Good 4-seamer below the belt, or below the knees, really. That one's coming in at 90 miles per hour now. He is so tired. That 4-seamer is so slow. That's another thing I'm worried about. Like, I mean, throwing 90. I'm not saying you have to come into the major leagues throwing 100, but your four-seamer got to at least be at the 94, 96 range, honestly. Even higher than like 96, 98. Because if you go up there with 90, I feel like that thing is just getting tattooed all over the yard. You might be like a long relief type of pitcher. How we always have our starter be a long reliever. That might be what he turns into if that's the full extent of what he can do. Now, of course, he can obviously develop and upgrade and maybe get that velocity a little bit faster as he goes. It's pulled here. Only 8 innings, strong work. Luis comes in this time and closes it out. 3 straight flyouts. Great work this time. Way to hold down the door. But yeah, he might be somebody as far as future on the team. Might be a career minor leaguer or a long reliever at best. I did like his stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just the speed differentials. I don't know if he'll have success at the major league level. Now, of course, he could surprise me, prove me wrong. But only time will tell. And as the season goes on, we'll know for even more sure. You see 11 hits as a team note here today. Colt with 3. Fernando Gonzalez actually went 0 for today. 2 strikeouts, which is kind of upsetting. Diego, though, 3 for 4. No home runs again today, but a lot of extra base hits, though. 3rd double for Ben. 5th for Juan Perez. And if we go look at his pitch spread here for Nieve, look, a little bit more near the middle than, of course, what we saw with Kyle Busch, but a lot of the stuff is good, and the strikeout percentage is way higher. 76%. Everything is basically at 75% or higher, except for, changes at 74, so we're basically at 75. A lot of his stuff was in the zone, getting swings and misses. Very few of them took. Even some of the ones that were in the strike zone, so that's a good take for us. And then just going 12-6 specific, look at that. 20 of them thrown, 75 for a strike, 0 for 5 when they threw it, 2 strikeouts, and then the other times that they got hit were obviously just outs or fouled off, swings and misses, or they just straight up took him for a couple of strikeouts too as well. So I was very impressed with what he was able to come in and produce with, and show me that the 12-6 ain't as scary as I think. Now, of course, we go back up to the major league level. We'll try to get through the end of this month. And of course, go through a couple of critical situations, possibly all the way through, as we get our very first one here, down 7-6. And Felix Bautista is trying to close us out. Let's get a little bit of major league action. As Gleyber Torres steps to the plate, bottom of the 9th, 1 out. This is what you guys came for, to see your Detroit Tigers try to get a couple more dubs and turn this season around quickly. First pitch he sees, he goes right through it. 99 heat. See what I'm talking about? You got to come with that heat. 100. 3 straights, just one finger down 3 times, and they all came in very, very fast. Now, thankfully, he's able to go ahead and take that one, though. 2-2. Pops that one. That was a 4-seamer basically right down the middle. Timed it up well, but just got underneath it. Not able to do anything with it. That's the sad ones when you time it up beautifully, especially off 100 miles per hour. You would think, like, especially you time it up good and swing hard, that thing should be out the park, because you already launching it back faster than it came to you. It should at least be a double or something. And unfortunately, when you don't catch those homers when they're gifted to you, you end up walking out with an L. So we strike out there to end the ball game. The Orioles take this, first game of the series. As we lose this one, man, Alex Lange once again blowing another save. 2 earned runs in the top of the 9th. 2 hits from our leadoff guys by Badu and Green. Great job. Clemens, another 3 for 4 day. He's batting amazing. 2 home runs today. 6 ribbies. So the whole game offensively was him. Casey Mize had an okay start, but really like to get less earned runs there. Bullpen shut it down except for Lange, though. 2 hits, 2 earned runs. Straight pathetic. So now I wanted to just get a little update on how everybody's doing. See if there's any upgrades available right now. Is everybody still kind of at the same place? What is everybody doing? And maybe even getting like a little lineup change here, because the offense is kind of struggling. You see Akil Badu's on a cold streak. So one thing I'm going to do is move Spencer Torkelson to 9, Akil Badu to 8. And move Keith Clemens to the 2 spot. He's on fire right now. I got to ride the hot hand and see if he can do something to help turn his team around. As for Alex Lange, he's got almost as many blown saves as he did last year and the year before. And we aren't even out of the first month yet. This is going to be a long season if he cannot turn this around. A lot of games are about to be lost that could have been won if our closer don't get right. Now here, we have a little bit of work here that could lead to the extra innings if we're not careful. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Jake Rogers is up. I'm already going to my bullpen, just getting somebody ready just in case. And the way he's been closing, I'm actually going to go Jordan Hicks, even if we take the lead. So I put Jake Rogers in a position now where we have runners at first and second, 2 outs. But a base hit can win this. Base hit can win this for us. Because honestly, if another pitcher comes up, it would have to stay tied. This throw goes over and they get him just barely. A catcher with a little bit of speed now, though. That's not too bad. 63 speed, I feel like it's pretty good for a catcher. So I thought he might have actually had a chance to beat that one out. So we're going to stick with Tyler Alexander, who they had in the game anyway, as a long reliever. He's 44 pitches into it. And we'll just see how far he can go. We do have Hicks still up in the bullpen, just waiting to be ready. He got a lot of speed up there. Second, two. That's Cowser. Bunts this one, but it'll be popped up. Alexander grabs it. Throw goes to second base. Almost gets wild on us. But we're able to just keep it fine and in. Next, they try to steal here. Not paying too much attention is the catcher, Eric Haas. Late on the throw. Runners at third base now with one out. And all it takes is some type of deep fly ball to go ahead and bring that runner in. 3-2. Gets called strike three with the cutter. I love it. Now any kind of out will do, and we're safe, and we'll bring in Jordan Hicks to go ahead and try to close this one out for us. 4 games, 2 saves in both opportunities, 4 1/3 innings. ERA is pretty high though, 6.23. But honestly, with 2 2/3 innings, that could be just a result of giving up 1 earned run. So I'm not gonna put too much stock into it. Not a huge sample size to really get scared of that right now. As we go 2 outs, sinker's looking beautiful. Chopped it foul. We're gonna live or die by the slide. As that one gets taken out for ball to even it up. Throws another one and gets him to swing and miss. We will take things to the bottom of the 10th and have a chance now to win the game. And of course, I got to go ahead and check my subs. We got Jake Rogers at second base at 51 speed, not 63. But we do have a lot more speed over here we can utilize in Nick Solak. So with that move to go ahead and put him out there, we do have another fast guy at the plate. So why not try to lay down a bunt? It just did not work that time. I thought it might have worked. That was a circle change right down the middle. If that had worked and he got on base, that would have been great. But instead, we get a 4-seamer up in the zone. Timed it up well, but it will be underneath the center fielder. We're going to test it to see if that speed is going to be enough. Out by a mile. I got a little greedy. I wanted to test it out. I thought we should be able to get it, especially because I was mad that the bunt didn't work. But if I had just waited, to kill Badu being clutch once again as this gets down to the corner of the wall, doing what he do at the second spot, and that could have won us the game right there if I wasn't so aggressive. Now we got to hope that Torres, who has come through clutch though, in the Tigers uniform, can do it again. 0-1, way too early on the slurve. Was thinking something else for sure. And then we come right back to that 4-seam heat. That's what happens when it's actually really fast. 1-2, 4-seamer. This is a liner. Can it get down? It will not get down. It was short, but just not able to be short enough. Hit a little too hard. And don't you hate when that happens? Because now we have to go to the 11th inning now. Still tied up. Great strikeout there, though, from Jordan Hicks to start off the inning with 1 out. That's exactly what you want to do when you've got base runners on and they have a chance to go ahead and win this game. As that is going to be a liner out into the outfield gap. But Dude is not going to be able to get to it. It'll roll to the corner, so that'll for sure be 1. Throw will come in to keep the runner at second base. And it's basically like that didn't happen. Runners at second, runners at the plate. 1 out again. This is going to be a ball that gets in front of Haas. This time he's going to throw over to third base and not be in time. He's safe. So still 1 out here. And they get another liner out to Green. He will go back, glove this one. They're going to test the arm. Throw will come into the plate off 1 bounce and be out or be not in time by a mile. As you can see here, we are now down 9-7. They're going to bring in their closer, Felix Bautista, who they actually are confident in, unlike us. And we have to go ahead and just try to find 2 runs to at least keep this going. 3 runs to win the game right now. CJ Cron could do it in 1 swing, but unfortunately chops on the ground. We're going to try to go to third base. Not able to make up our mind on what we want to do. I thought he threw it over there. So I tried to get back. I just hate how like nobody tries to move up on the slower. Like if you took off that way before the ball got to him, you probably would have been safe. And we could have runners at the corners, no outs, but it is what it is. They played a little too scared here. And the newer MLB the shows. Mr. Torkelson up trying to be clutch with 2 outs. He's facing 100-mile-per-hour heat, so I know it's hard. 0-2. Watches a slider that thankfully they bless us with. We'll stay 1-2. And this time the ball don't lie. Swings and misses right over the top. Orioles take game number 2 from us. And unfortunately, we're not able to come out of this one with a W. As Jordan Hicks did his thing, man, he did what he could, but the game went on long. We probably should have won this earlier if it weren't for us giving up those 2 other runs in the 7th inning. But good job, y'all, with 14 hits. Burnling even had 3 coming off the bench here today. Jones stole 2 bases to get up to 6. Matt Manning, a terrible start for him, but Alexander gave up 2 earned runs as well. So kind of got to put it on both of them. Strikeouts were at a premium, and now we go ahead and sim all the way to the end of the week as we go on another losing streak. Taking the game before this one, Keith Clemens just wants to come in and continue his 14-game hitting streak. We end up losing anyway, though, 14-2. That's what matters mostly to me. Or 2-5. I don't know. I said 14-2. 2-5, and that's what matters most to me. Now, I see this game we lose 17-1, give up 15 hits, 2 errors. We even get 11 hits on our side, but we just did not do anything with them. CJ Cron 3. Look at it. It was 2-0-3-0-2-0-3-0-1. If every other person gonna get a hit, it's no wonder we were not able to go ahead and get any runs in this game. Everybody just kept getting grounded to double plays probably afterwards. And Jackson Jobe had probably one of the worst starts of his career. 1 2/3 and 7 earned innings. That was terrible. Going back to our guys though on scouting, Julius Fisher's looking pretty good. Now 14th on our board. No defense really, but the bat is lively. So I mean, do we test out that situation again and see what we can potentially do with maybe a higher potential? And then over here at catcher, we have an option there too as well that I'm looking pretty good at, but I can't get both obviously. So we'll take a little bit more time to dive into the more of the guys that we could be looking at potentially picking up a little bit later in the series, as Dave Shannon, Jay Torres, Ben Hernandez, Hadi Kai. Like, these guys are closing pitchers that I'm now starting to look at who are up in the top of the draft. Could potentially be guys that we go pick up. And I noticed that they're in a specific area, so I'm going to do this one too as well for a little bit. Julius Fisher, 100% him. Mohamed Robinson, we're going to do the same thing. And then we're going to look at closing pitchers in the Central to get them 50% and start it up so I can know who I want to go after in that region. Now, as we go ahead and go back into the standings here, you see, or the schedule here, as you can see, we are down now, or we're up 10-5. I was going to say we're down because of our record. We are down now to a 14-17 record, as we finally answered back with 2 wins though to end off the month of April. Thankfully, back-to-back good wins against Kansas City, dropping 11 runs here off 16 hits. I love to see this. Torres, Cron, and Scope all hitting home runs. Jones getting another RBI attempt or RBI there. And then Jackson Jobe, 5 2/3, 5 earned. And then we come right back the next day, win 9-2. This time Jones 3 RBIs at the leadoff spot, 2 hits from Clemens and Clemens behind him. As we go ahead and win this game too as well, 9-2. Tree Screwball, 6 2/3, 2 earned runs. Great job out of bullpen not to give anything up. We have a long way to go to get this division back, as the Guardians are leading the way at 17-14, 3 games better than we are. We have some work to do. Now, leading the team though, let's go ahead and look at some team stats here. Is Riley Green, 31 hits is leading the way. Morris Jones with 30 and 3 home runs is not too bad at all as a rookie. I think we might have called him out at a good time. 8 home runs from Torres, 7 from Scope. Keith Clemens with 6 and 15 RBIs. 16 RBIs for Scope, 22 for Torres. The team is looking okay. I mean, averages could be a little bit better. We only have 2 guys hitting over 300. One of them's a bench guy. 1, 2. So added 3 guys that are starters hitting over 270. It looks like 5 guys over 250. I mean, we could be doing better for sure offensively, but we also got to fix the pitching up. The pitching starting to become a problem now. We're giving a lot of earned runs by our starters. The bullpen isn't closing things out. You see our war leader right now, Gleyber Torres. Thankfully, we signed him in free agency. ISOs, we have 3 guys over 200. Jonathan Scope, 248, 291 for Torres, and Clemens batting 309 ISO. I've heard 200 is really good. So I don't 300. Look at that. His ISO is almost as good as his batting average. I mean, almost every hit he's getting is a home run at this point. If he can hold up that, this man is about to have a season-making year. As we go to our pitchers, man, Tree Screwball, 40 strikeouts leading the way, 12 walks. Jackson Jobe, 18 walks, 26 strikeouts. That is atrocious. Whip at 1.56. We got to fix that. And look how many guys are over a 4 ERA. Anderson Espinosa not having anywhere close to the year he was having last year. Already giving up 700 runs. He only gave up 10 last year with 24 innings. This year in 5 2/3 is giving up 7 already. And we have a lot of guys that are over that 4 ERA threshold for us. A couple starters, a couple of relievers, and definitely our closing pitcher we do not want to see there. And then looking at quality starts here, Tree Screwball 7 for 7. Luis Severino is 4 for 6, but then everybody else is 2 for 6. So got to get more production from our starters. Got to get more consistency so that way we can go ahead and help out with getting these bats the run support, or keeping the run support to a minimum. So when the bats wake up and they start playing good, we can start getting these games in. Now, if you look at Phipps here, 264 by Tree Screwball. He's playing amazing. And a couple more guys actually join the realms of being under 4 when we look at that. Looking at our team rankings too as well, batting 259 is actually 12th in the league. I was actually surprised we were that high. I did not expect that. Runs, we look like we're sitting at tied for 20th. Okay, 129. We definitely do. So we're getting a lot of hits because the average is high. Not scoring a lot of runs, not hitting a lot of home runs. You see we were 26th there. RBIs tied for 20th. We need to start making more out of our hits when we are getting on base. It looks like we're getting hits, just not stringing them together to do anything with. On base percentage, I wanted to see just where we're at. Look at that, we're 11, just outside of the top 10. There's no reason we should be at the bottom third of the league in runs and in the top of the third of the league in on base and batting average. errors here. Tied for 19th, about middle of the pack. ERA, I know we got to be second back. We're at 19th with that one, 4.26. The bullpen has some work to do. Shutouts, saves, blown saves, hits allowed, runs allowed. I'm just kind of looking for different things that kind of show what the problem is. This is a huge problem. Tied for 24th, the blown saves with 5 of them things. There are problems all over the place on both sides of the ball that we do good in some areas, but then terrible in others. You see 22nd in runs allowed, but then you go look at home runs allowed. Tied for 13, that's okay. At least we're in the top half. So we're just allowing them to chain hits together instead of us being able to ones to be able to chain these hits together. So we got to fix that. We got to do better, because if we don't, we can say bye to the postseason, man. I know you guys ain't trying to say bye already. I know I'm not either, but I got to go ahead and end the video for the day, man. Next time we are out, we'll be getting through a little bit of the month of May, focusing in on maybe a couple of key series here. As I did go ahead and look, most of the teams we're playing in this month actually have a losing record. Thankfully, we can play the Twins twice this month too as well, so get ready for some divisional work. And I know I did talk about playing in both New York and Boston. We do actually have series against them, 2 teams. I think it's in June. I think it's like the beginning of June. So be on the lookout for those 2, because I definitely want to play in those 2 parts. We haven't played in them yet. We will definitely be focusing in on those series and finding a reason to focus in on those series. But at least this month, maybe we can bounce back, because like I said, everybody here is under 500 except for, I think, 2 teams. So we should be able to go ahead and do work and hopefully get back above 500, get the pitching staff right, comfortable, get our hitters back comfortable. I can't believe out of everybody struggling, Morris Jones has stayed alive and stayed strong, and the leadoff role too, above everything else, hitting leadoff. He has thrived and survived after only 1 year in the minor league system. So hats off to him. Let me know what you guys think of the series down below, and who are you guys excited to see come up next. I look forward to seeing you guys' feedback. Let me know if any of the draft prospects excited you. Maybe we'll take a little bit more time to kind of dive into maybe some more profiles here in the next episode. But let me know what you guys are thinking, and I will catch you guys in the next video. It's me, your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka GM Smooth, and I'll catch you guys in the next Detroit Tigers rebuild. See you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.